Hello and welcome to another Firearm Freedom YouTube live stream. Bear with me here, guys, just making sure all sorts of different lighting that I'm trying out here with these new live streams, and also the wall behind me looking all sorts of cool. So this is going to be another doozy of a live stream. I call these weekly wrap-ups still, just based off of all the other times that we have done these weekly, but more recently they have not been weekly. They've been like a little bit more sporadic. And I decided, I want to do these live streams in a way that is going to make me still enjoy them. And in order to do that, I just don't want to do a live stream unless there's something to talk about. I don't want to just ramble on. In that case, if I want to do something shorter, I'm just going to make a full edited video for you guys. But in this case, we got a lot to talk about tonight. We're going to be talking about the YouTube purge that's going on currently right now. And also we're going to talk about the ATF's final ruling that just dropped today for pistol braces. And that was unexpected. I was originally going to do this live stream primarily about the purging that's going on YouTube right now, but then when I heard about the pistol brace thing dropping today, and I did get a little bit of insider information. For those of you guys out there that don't know, I do of course work at a gun shop, and a lot of the time shops and FFLs get this information from the ATF as far as what this is going to look like moving forward a little bit sooner than the everybody in the world of NFA stuff will. Generally what they'll do is they'll let FFLs know, hey, this is what processing is going to look like, and then they will let the general public know via email. If you are already signed up for the ATF eForms account, you'll generally get an email. So we're going to talk about all that. You got a Rumble channel set up and your videos backed up. Yes, sir. So we're going to talk about that as well, Nick. And just, man, everything. It has been, guys, there has been a lot going on my end recently. And this YouTube, unfortunately, not a ton of it is great. Some of it's a little bit stressful, but that's okay. Everyone, has a stressful kind of normal life. But YouTube throwing this curveball at everybody here is just kind of icing on the cake. And then we also get the ATF stuff today. So before we get the video started, as everybody's kind of trailing in here, I am going to start the live stream with the stuff that's going on with YouTube, because I know that that's not going to be the most sought after topic right now. The most sought after is probably going to be the pistol brace debacle. I'm going to leave that for the end. And the reason why I do that is so that all the people that generally tune into these live streams as they go on, you're going to see kind of what I would imagine a lot of people are coming to the live stream for. So we're going to start off with the YouTube stuff. YouTube's probably going to axe my channel, but if they don't and you want to head down to that description, you can check out some of the links to support the channel, support everything that I do here. One of the main ways that you can do that is buying a t-shirt of mine. I make t-shirts, I design them, put them out, and I rep them all the time. Repping one in this video, which is the cool "It Wasn't Written for Hunting" Second Amendment shirt. And a lot of those designs I'm pretty passionate about. So that link is down there, and I appreciate you guys repping the brand. I would say hit the subscribe button, but that's a little bit of a joke right now. So what is freaking going on with YouTube? What can you guys see as viewers moving forward in the YouTube world of the gun community? It's not looking great. So YouTube consistently updates their terms and their policies in regards to firearms content here on YouTube. It's not just firearms content. They do target other creators as well. Now, the usual thing that you will see as a content creator here on YouTube is, hey, these new terms are coming out. Here are the terms. Try to abide by them. The problem with YouTube, though, is a lot of the time they will not let you know the term change or the algorithm change ahead of time before just going ahead and doing it. So at first, I thought it was just kind of a one-off. I started to see one or two people get community strikes here on YouTube. Now, for those of you that don't know, you get 3 community strikes. Technically 4, but the first one is a warning. So you get 1 warning. If the warning is not taken back, then it will stay, and the following warning will then be a strike. If you get 3 strikes, that is it. You will log in and your channel is gone like it never existed. All the content is gone. That's it. And you're starting from 0. There is no way to get it back. So it's pretty dramatic, especially in the way of the fact that these strikes do not go away. So if you have 1 strike, it will continuously be 1 strike permanently on your channel. Once you get to 3, that is it. So a lot of these channels started to come out, and now I'm seeing it everywhere. I'll probably get some influencers tuning into this live stream that are very good friends of mine. As a side note, I don't say this enough, but there are a lot of channels out there, GB Guns, Fit and Fire, Alabama Arsenal, Clayco, all those dudes, very awesome people. I have been in contact with them on kind of like a internet friend basis now for quite a while, and we have been communicating the best that we can to try to figure out like what the heck is going on. But those are channels that I watch frequently that are really good folks over there. So I appreciate all the help. I don't call out other channels that I watch enough. But everyone's getting strikes now. Everyone's getting at least 1 strike, 2 strikes, and it's looking pretty grim. My channel did get 1 strike that is now a warning. I tried to appeal the strike, which got rejected. So that is staying, and it was on a Scorpions upgrade video. And the reason for the strikes appear to be if you mounted a suppressor to a gun. If you mounted a suppressor to a gun, that's kind of the definite that we're all pointing towards, is the only thing that we can see that's about the same across the board is the algorithms are seeing that if you mounted a suppressor to a firearm at any point in any one of your videos, or any piece of a suppressor was unthreaded at all, it could result in a channel strike. Now, for channels out there, I mean, I have about 400 videos on my channel, which is relatively low compared to other guys out there that are now doing what I'm doing. But we have to systematically go through each and every video that we have ever posted and try and see if there was ever a point that we threaded on a suppressor on a gun. Why are they doing this? Well, the algorithm is saying that by doing that, you are manufacturing a homemade suppressor. Whether it is a manual person doing that or an AI system for YouTube that is doing that and finding these videos and flagging them, I have no idea. It's still very much up in the air whether or not actually editing out in a video the section that you have mounted the suppressor, so just like cutting the video out will solve the problem, or if you have to just delete the video entirely. And we really don't know. So what is Firearm Freedom going to do moving forward on this channel to try and make sure that I can stay on this platform? Well, I have a few solutions of things that I'm going to try to do to continue to produce content for you guys. So as of last night and this morning, I have begun systematically going through my videos, and I will be deleting any video that has a suppressor being attached, visibly attached, as far as like threading it on to the gun. If that happens at any point in the video, I'm cutting the video. This sucks. This is hours and hours and hours of video time that will be cut out from my channel, and hundreds of hours of work put into each one of these videos, and I don't even want to think about how much money put into each one of these videos that I will be deleting. But the way that I see it is, if deleting that allows me to keep my family here on YouTube just ever so slightly longer to spread the word that is needing to get out here on the platform, I will do it. Now, I know a lot of you guys are going to be asking, what about the backup? What about Rumble? A lot of folks in the community are shifting to Rumble at this point in time, and Firearm Freedom has as well. I did make a Rumble account, and it's just called Firearm Freedom, exactly the way that it is here on YouTube. Now, it is super new. I just made the account live today, and I believe the channel, you can subscribe to it right now on Rumble, and I'll try to post a link underneath this video here so that you can click on that and subscribe to Rumble. And the plan there is that it will mirror my YouTube channel. So there's not going to be any extra content. It's just, if I upload a video on YouTube, I am going to upload the video on Rumble. So it'll be an exact backup of my YouTube channel. Now, I do have a significant amount of videos backed up already that are ready to go. So the Rumble account, probably midway through next week, is going to have at least like 20 or 30 of my most recent videos just immediately uploaded to Rumble and ready to go. So as far as the old ones, those will probably just not be on there. I don't have all of that files ready to go. There's so much files that they're all just in archives and other libraries, and I just don't have them immediately available. So it'll only be some of my most recent videos. Will I just be ending it on YouTube and going to Rumble? No, I will not. Why won't I? Well, I know a lot of folks down in the comments section love to scream and shout from the rooftops, "Oh my God, I can't believe you're still here. I can't believe you're supporting YouTube. I can't believe you're abiding by these crazy rules." I don't want to. The problem is that most of the people that are saying those things in those comments are not over on those platforms that they talk about. I am seeing, my friends out there that are other content creators on YouTube that have 40,000, 50,000, 60,000 subscribers on YouTube. On Rumble, they have 40. They have 40. 60,000, 40. That is a big difference. And that, that really kills the motivation to go through all the work, all the man hours of making a video to put it in an echo chamber, which is what a lot of these places are, and have it not reach the people that it may be the most important to reach. So I will put it on Rumble, and I want to do that because this is, aside from being a job of mine, this is also a hobby. It's something that I love to do. So even if they nuked my channel, one, I would make a new channel immediately and just continue to upload videos and start from zero. Once again, I have no problem in doing that. I just hope to God it doesn't happen. But if YouTube got to the point where they just would not even allow a firearm on there in any capacity, then I would switch to Rumble just to continue to make videos as a hobby every once in a while about firearms, because I just love doing this. So, it is not great. As far as the monetization for the channel, that's always been very low. That's something that I don't really care as much about, because I am very blessed to have certain sponsors on the channel that have worked with me and helped me out via ads. So I can run my own ads. I don't need YouTube. So if it gets worse, I may switch the channel to completely off of the monetization as well, to see if that makes any sort of a difference. But this is the future. This is what everyone on this platform is going to continue to see. And quite frankly, I don't believe there is a single thing that can be done to stop it. Could you do something legislatively about freedom of speech? I would hope so, but with everything going on nowadays, I just don't see that as a reality with our current situation. And, you know, at the end of the day, when you Google something about a gun, it doesn't bring up Rumble, it brings up YouTube. So this is going to continue to get worse, and it's going to continue to just absolutely smoke this industry in actually educating the people that need to be educated about this topic and seeing firearms in the way that they should be seeing firearms. It is not great, and it is going to continue to get not great. This has grown over the years. It started with the adpocalypse, right? And it's just continued to get worse. Now, I don't want to act like some whiny YouTuber here on the platform, but it is important that a lot of folks know how this is going to affect the community, not just the individual YouTuber itself. It absolutely sucks for the YouTuber. A lot of folks don't know just how much time and money goes into making these videos that you guys are able to enjoy for free. I love doing that. I love providing that for folks, but it is not cheap to do. It is not easy to do with time. I work a full-time job outside of this. I have a family. I have a wife. We are trying to address that side of real world, not YouTube world, as well as trying to do all of this here and answer you folks here on comments and other things. And I absolutely love doing that, but time is definitely stretched thin. And when YouTube does something like this, it is devastating to the motivation that a creator has to then continue to, I just dropped almost $150 tonight just on one range day's worth of ammo for this weekend. That's going to be probably about 6 or 7 hours of my time and hauling a bunch of gear. Again, don't get me wrong, I love doing it, but it is much harder to do knowing that at any point your YouTube channel could be just deleted from existence based off of absolutely nothing other than the fact that you have firearms on your channel in a safe way. So this is not developing too well. As far as a lot of gun channels, you may see major changes in the very near future. Nothing's going to change on firearm freedom. A lot of content's going to have to get deleted, but the content that I produce is not going to change. I'm just not going to show that being done in the video, and that's going to be about it. But for a lot of folks out there that care on YouTube very much about the ad revenue, you're going to see their channels switch primarily to news. That's kind of the big thing. They'll switch from a gun review showcasing one of the guns that you guys see here behind me like I do on my channel. They'll go from doing something like that to just simply talking about current events and news in hopes to try to continue to stay monetized. And that's not really a plan for me, provided I can still get your support with buying, any of my merchandise and also the support of my sponsors. I'm not going to really care too much about monetization. So that about wraps up the YouTube stuff. I don't want to harp on it too hard. They usually do this every year by SHOT Show. They do it so frequently, but this time it's pretty bad. And this was the first time that I've received a channel strike, and everyone's been getting strikes left and right. So, we will see. Somebody asked, Nick, I think you asked in the comments about the B channel. I do have a B channel. I've had a Firearm Freedom B channel now for probably about 2 years. It's been a train wreck of ups and downs. As this channel progresses, my time for the B channel goes down as much as I would like to keep doing it. But the link is down in the description. So after this live stream is ending, it's called FF Lifestyle, FF spaced Lifestyle. And the main point of that B channel was to make vlogs about the Firearm Freedom family, showcase my side hobbies, skateboarding, fitness, the powerlifting, sports, all those things are on the B channel. And I really do enjoy doing the B channel. And hell, if this A channel goes down, hopefully I can just pick right back up where I left off in the B channel and maybe do a little bit of different content, leave the gun reviews for Rumble. So I will post the Rumble link down in the comment section when this live stream is over. Again, nothing on there right now, but hopefully by the time some of you guys are watching this later on, there will be a bunch of content. So I would really appreciate the support over there. And Rumble seems like a pretty cool place for videos, and they also have an app, which is huge. You can just go to the Rumble app, and it's right on there. That is massive for a video viewing, streaming sort of thing like YouTube. So it seems to be a cool place. Definitely an echo chamber, but it is what it is. And then also the B channel, I'll throw that link down in the comments, and that is FF Space Lifestyle. If anything immediately happens on YouTube, I will probably make a video on FF Lifestyle, just giving everybody a heads up on what went down. And of course, follow on Instagram. We just started doing our Discord server, really trying to get that rolling and doing well. So I would love it if you guys joined our Discord server. We got a lot of fun folks over there. We're doing a band book club again here shortly. It's going to be a lot of fun. Anything goes that's legal on that Discord. So it is a wild place. Don't get offended, but it's cool. It's awesome. A lot of good folks in there. I'll post the Discord link down in the comment section after this video as well. But that's a great way to see what's going on and just ask me questions directly. Real low-key, kind of unprofessional, you could say. A little bit unprofessional, but in a good way. And, you know, it's a great way to reach out to me at. Chris, I am going to throw the Discord link underneath the description after this live stream, but if you want to see it right now, if you go to any of my other videos, it's underneath there in the all my links tab, or I think it might just be just Discord itself, but it should be down there, the invite link, and we'll add you. All you have to do is just say, hey, let us know who you are, that you're not a bot or a fed trying to psyop everybody, and we'll let you right in so you can see all the channels and all that good stuff. So it's a fun time. Now, we will get into what I know a lot of people are probably tuning in now for, which is pistol braces. We just got served with a pile of crap today on Friday the 13th, ironically, by the ATF in regards to braced firearms. What we assumed was going to happen has happened. So essentially, they are getting ready to publish to the Federal Register the official point sheet that we saw about a year ago now, maybe, and that is official. That is now happening, and in 120 days, that will be essentially the ATF's version of law, and that is what's going on. Long and the short of that point system is essentially if you have anything with an adjustable pistol brace of any type, it is immediately an SBR, regardless of any other features that you have on there. If you have a friction fit brace or a pistol tube, you would then go through all the other point things on their list, and if you get over 4 points, it would then be considered an SBR. So it's not technically a ban on braces. What it is just a target towards the large frame pistol, as I'm calling it, on a whole grand scale. So having too much weight could cause an issue. Having multiple versions of sighting options on your firearm could cause an issue, but primarily what is immediately going to be a problem for most people is adjustable braces. More so, what was surprising to myself, but not entirely unbelievable, for the next 120 days, we have the official notice at this point that you will be able to get a free tax stamp for your Form 1. In other words, turning it into an SBR free of the $200, and it is essentially tax exempt. Now, before everybody just starts running to the eForms website, hopefully a lot more people think about it, but we are going to go into the details of that because I've been able to see, because again, I work at an FFL, the full layout of kind of what this is going to look like on the eForm website, which is what we're going to be talking about. Let's see here. And also, guys, any questions that you have about this, Any other questions that you have about this, just please throw them in the live chat. I'm going to answer them all. So I know a lot of folks are going to have questions. I'll do my best. Well, your 10.5H AR with brace, without stamp, is no longer welcome in the Discord. Cody, yeah, we're going to talk about that. So what exactly is this going to look like right now? Well, first of all, this is going to be, mark my words, a tsunami in the Form 1 system, whether you like it or not. That aside, whether you are totally not doing a Form 1 or doing a Form 1, this is going to affect everything in regards to NFA processing without a doubt. It is going to affect everything. Now, when it is looking at something like a Form 1, right now E-Form 1s are taking about 25 to 30 days on my watch, give or take. I have had a few that I've done over the past few weeks in assumption that we were going to see a massive tidal wave of Form 1 times, which of course now we are going to see, and they are going to be rough. Why do I say that? This system, this E-Form 1 system, the ATF currently can barely manage. It is constantly having problems. It is constantly going down. There is no customer service. There is no tech support. There is no help whatsoever. There is no direction whatsoever. It is a mess half of the time. So that is with the current normal flow. Now, think about how many millions of braced firearms are out there on the market. Now, add to that the ability to potentially get a free $200 tax stamp with those items. If only a fraction of a percent of those people decide to get a Form 1, it will be a monumental task for ATF agents and the outside sourced contractors that do NFA processing for them to try and handle. And it's just not going to work well. That is the cold hard truth on somebody that has been working front lines in this industry for over 8 years and doing NFA processing for a majority of that. It is not going to go over well. It's going to be an entire shit show. And that's just what's going to happen. Now, currently, when you log into the ATF website, this is not live yet. And we're seeing the direction for this on the back end on what it's going to look like. So I'll tell you guys now as a little bit of a heads up. It looks like this is going to go live, I would imagine, Monday or Tuesday. When you go to the ATF E-Form website and you scroll down, there's going to be a red button that says Form 1 for 2021 blah, blah, blah law that they're going to pass in. If you click that button, it is going to bring you to the login screen specifically for this free tax stamp for the new rule that's going into effect. Once you log in, it's going to kind of have a specialty tax exempt section that you're going to go through and fill out your information and not have to pay the $200 tax stamp. And once that's complete, it does not have to stay in the pistol configuration. This is a tax exempt stamp. So it is an SBR at that point. They are already considering it an SBR right now, whether it has the brace or not. So once you go through this process and once it gets approved, you're good to slap a stock on it and call it a day. Now, more information will be needed with this. It looks like the assumption that they will need photographs of the item was accurate. So from the best of our understanding right now, They will also need photographic evidence of what they are saying is now an illegal SBR to be sent to the ATF during the E-Form 1 processing on their site there, with somehow proof of ownership and proof of the item itself. Now, I don't know what exactly those photos are going to be. They have not made us aware of that yet. They have not said if the photos are going to include the entire firearm itself, which I would imagine they would. They don't specify if they're going to need some sort of purchase receipt to prove that you purchased it in the timeline, which we're going to talk about next, which is pretty sucky, along with everything else that's going on right now. So they don't touch on that yet. Now, I know a lot of you are like, oh my God, I got to go to the eForm website before it gets crazy. This is not live yet, so it's just not there. There is no red button. There's nothing on their website, so I'm assuming that it's going to take them a few days left. Yeah, a photo of the firearm with a brace on it is what we're assuming. Now, what we don't know is proof of ownership and those things. I don't know if they're going to require additional documentation. They say on the directions, photo of a firearm and additional documentation may be necessary, and they don't display what that might be. Once you go through the process, that is it, essentially. And that is why I would imagine a lot of folks are going to be rushing to the eForm website, as sad as it is. Now, what else is going to be a very, very large problem? So what's going to happen is a lot of folks right now are going to go rushing online to find an AR pistol or another large frame pistol that they've been dying to get, buy it, and then try to get a free tax stamp to then do this without cost. They're going to be buying them privately, I'm sure, to try and get this. Think twice, because what the ATF has said, at least from what I can grasp from the directions, is that the firearm and the brace must have been purchased before the date that this final rule was brought to the Federal Register. Now, that is going to officially happen, I believe, in like 2 days, so you might still have a little bit of time there. But from the best of my understanding, whenever that officially hits the Federal Register, which I don't believe is after the 120-day period and it actually goes into effect, I believe it is in just a few days, anything purchased after that point does not fall under this 120-day grace period. It would have to be Form 1 just like anything else with the $200 tax stamp. Now, how they are going to prove that, well, that is the question. That is the ultimate question on what they're going to be asking for additional documentation. That's my worry, because I don't know if they're going to be asking for purchase receipts, if they're going to be doing this or that. It's going to be a little bit of a problem. Now, if you want to file this in a trust, it is going to be a big issue. They have essentially totally screwed anybody with a trust that wants to take advantage of the free tax stamp situation. Why did they do this? Well, they said in order for your item to be able to take advantage of this and have it be in your trust inventory sheet. If you don't have a trust, you're not going to know what that is, so this information is mainly for people that have a trust. Your trust inventory sheet needs to be notarized and signed with the updated inventory sheet of the large frame pistol, the braced large frame pistol, and the serial number before it is added to the Federal Register, before the final rule is added to the Federal Register. In other words, nobody, if that is in just a few days, which I believe it is, like 2 days, nobody is going to have the ability to run out and add this and get it notarized and be on the trust. So I love it because on the directions, they say underneath that is, and if you don't have it notarized by that point, you must file it as an individual, and you can get the free tax stamp, and then you must transfer it to the trust, which, ironically, they don't say in the directions, will be a $200 tax stamp. So it is the same thing. So you might as well just file it like that. So if you have a trust and you are diehard about your trust and you want to add this item to your trust, you're just, quite frankly, you're just not going to be able to. Most individuals out there are not going to be adding something like a regular large frame handgun onto their NFA trust as far as in the past. So most people are going to be SOL there. What happens after the 120-day grace period if you still have a braced firearm? Well, there's no more comment period. There's no more anything. The ATF, as of today, is considering that firearm a short-barreled rifle if it has an adjustable brace. As of today. There is no other, maybe we can wait for this or maybe we can wait for that. Right now, as we sit, that's an illegal SBR. They are now saying you have 120 days to fix that problem that we just made up. And if you don't fix it in 120 days, after the 120 days, grace period's over, and if you are found with that item and it is not on a Form 1, you will be in possession of an illegal SBR. What are the options? You can take the brace off. You can put a pistol buffer tube on there and just leave it at that. So you take off your carbine buffer tube, put on the pistol buffer tube, and you should be okay. You can separate the upper and the lower, put the lower in a different place, put the upper on again in a different place. You can Form 1 the firearm, or you can just send it. If you do just send it and you don't Form 1 and you want to just, go full Patriot with that, more power to you, but at that point, ditch the brace entirely because that sucks and it's an incredibly terrible stock, and the ATF is viewing it the exact same as a stock. So you might as well have a stock on it. And that's what I would, I would think a lot of people would do. It wouldn't really make much sense to me that if you're deciding to go that route, why you would continue to keep the brace on. I know a lot of people are going to scream in the comments, well, I want to keep the brace on in case they have some sort of a lawsuit down the road. That's just fine, but we may be looking years into the future for something like this. So a lot can happen in years leading up to that, and although it may end favorably in a lawsuit, you absolutely could still go to jail either way if you're going to the range with that item. So why not just live it up a little bit and have something that's a little bit more effective? I'm just catching up with some questions here before I move on. Chris, based on Reddit, so take it with a grain of salt, it looks like eForm 1 division only has 4 employees signing forms. That's relatively accurate, and then they also contract out a lot of the just regular labor that goes along with the forms of running background checks and etc. Python, what's going on, buddy? Good to see you in here. Let's not forget Monday is a national holiday. Excellent. So it'll probably be Tuesday that goes out. Yeah, Sam, the big thing is the date that it's notarized, so that's why everyone's screwed. It's not like a super quick thing to get it notarized. It generally takes a day or two, so you're going to have a big problem with that. Actually, I don't think it's possible at this point. Yeah, Sam, that's another great point. In the instructions for this, if anybody was like confused, like, well, maybe they don't think everything's an SBR, they are not even using braced firearms in the instructions. They're saying short-barreled rifle with brace. They're just calling it a short-barreled rifle now. Yeah, we will see. We're going to talk about how ridiculous this is here in a second. A lot of people are having boating accidents in the next 120 days. My favorite is forfeit to the local ATF office. Yeah, that's awesome as well. Definitely going to see a lot of people doing that, I'm sure. Yeah. 4 years minimum for legal action to settle. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It's not a quick process. This is not something that's gonna happen overnight. What do FFLs that aren't Class 3s do with braced firearms in their inventory? This is a really big deal. And guys, this is why for the past probably 6 months, the shop that I work at, we didn't get in any brace firearms because we're not having the dead inventory, and we weren't buying in any brace firearms on the used market. So essentially, we don't have to deal with too much of that, but a shop that has a ton of braced inventory is now going to have the option of either selling the inventory at probably take a loss on everything to try to get rid of it. Who would want to buy a braced firearm right now? I have absolutely no idea because it wouldn't make much sense. And if they don't sell it all, they're going to have to try to make it abide by the point system, and if they somehow are able to do that, then they can just try to sell them. That's going to be dead inventory for a long time, or they can form one them all as a shop and sell a bunch of SBRs, which is also not going to sell, or they could try to sell them back to distribution, which I'm sure a lot of other shops are going to try to do. Therefore, distribution's not going to take them back. So essentially, they're SOL, and they're probably out of pocket a lot of money. So not the smart move. Sorry, guys, just catching up on everybody here. Steven, when you form one a lower, do you have to send pictures of the complete firearm, as in you pay the $200 fee, not taking advantage of the free BS? Steven, if you go that route, you do not have to send photos. It is the same process. And quite frankly, between the two, I'm personally a lot more uncomfortable with sending photos to the ATF of an item that they just deemed completely illegal. So I would almost rather just pay the $200, go through the standard process, and not deal with all of that. But that's just me. I'm sure a lot of folks out there are not going to think that way, but I don't know. The ATF is not a super trustworthy agency, and sending them a bunch of photos does not sit too well with me. It already does not sit well with me that this is going on in general, let alone sending photos. Okay. Okay. Okay, here, hold on. Yeah, and so, Chris, it's very confusing because when you file a regular Form 1, after you do your item entry and you hit Next, there's a big screen that pops up, and it really looks like they want to have a photo of the item, but you don't put anything in there. You never put anything in there. It is not required. It just looks like it is. You just hit Finish, go through the process. So it's a very confusing spot, though. Matt Rodriguez, does it also apply if the AR is pistol caliber? Yes, it would. It's the same thing. It does not matter. Steven, so for the free stamp, you have to send the complete firearm for the registry, but if you pay $200, just lower only, no way this shit can stand legally. Yeah, for the free stamp, you're sending a photo of the whole gun. For regular $200, there is no photos. There were never photos. You do not send photos anytime. There is nothing you send photos of. Looks like pin and weld muzzles are going to blow up for sale. Probably. I'm sure that's going to come back a lot. Does this affect the Mossberg Shockwave in something like this? If it has an adjustable brace, yes. If it does not, no, from the best of my understanding. Let's see here. A lot of questions. Thank you guys so much for typing them in. I will do my best to answer them. I really appreciate your patience here. I believe the document specifies SBRs and not SBSs. Chris, that is a good point. So I don't know. I don't know. Could a Mossberg Shockwave with an adjustable brace be void? I don't know. The other thing you guys have to remember is the ATF is not smart in any way, shape, or form. They have absolutely no idea what their own laws are. So because of this, they probably didn't even realize that that gun existed. And they assume it falls under the same category. I would say if you have an adjustable brace, I would be very cautious about what you're trying to set up. So we know that it would then be an SBS. They have no idea what an SBS even is. They're seeing a gun with an adjustable brace, and they're saying, here's your 120 days. So, take that for what you will. Now, it would be interesting to see if somebody did file a Shockwave with an adjustable brace with a photo, and it's obviously not an SBR, if that would still apply. I have absolutely no idea. I have absolutely no idea. Let's see here. Griff, I feel a huge wave of mass non-compliance coming. I hope so. I really hope so. I have made so many videos on this in the past, and those videos always pertained around should you do it? Should you get a Form 1, an SBR, or should you keep it a pistol, or should you full send it Patriot life? That sort of deal. The point is still exactly the same, and it's a question that you have to ask yourself, and I will briefly say it here. If you are somebody that owns suppressors, you already own Form 4 suppressors, meaning, I can't I can't get a Silencer Co. Omega 300 and make it myself. I don't have the tooling to do that, right? I cannot personally have the ability to do that. So I have to buy it on a Form 4 if I want to use that suppressor. I have got a lot of deals. I've talked about this for me personally, working in the industry for almost a decade. So of course, over the years, I've picked up quite a few suppressors. If you already have suppressors and you're already on their radar, you've already made the jump, and you have, let's say, one AR pistol, I would say that usually most people are going to make the choice to just Form 1 it, whether they do it free or not, or pay the $200 or not. Most of the folks in that court are going to make that decision, and I have nothing against them. For me, I have other SBRs that I bought factory, a factory Colt SBR that is from the factory, from Colt as an SBR. There's no other way to get that gun. There's no other way to full Patriot send it than paying $200 to the Crown and getting that gun home. It sucks. It's not right. It shouldn't happen. Sorry, guys, I'm losing battery. It sucks. It's not right. It shouldn't happen, but that's the only way to get it. So if you are already in that court, a lot of folks are just going to Form 1. There's a lot of Form 1s that I did long before this for other projects and things, so adding one more piece to that puzzle, I don't really see what the difference is in that mindset. If you have no NFA items, that is a different story. And I probably would not start it off with a Form 1 SBR. That's just me. It's a hassle. It's a pain in the butt. It's a different type of ownership. So, that's a big deal. I would not do that. I would think much harder about that decision. You don't have any other NFA items. You are not on that registry yet. You are not there. You're probably on it with a 4473, but you're not officially on that Form 4 or NFA registry. So think about that. Understand that. And then if you're in the middle, understand this. And this goes to everybody. Everybody. Okay? Mass non-compliance only works if it's done publicly. It only works if it's done publicly. And that's what a lot of people forget. Because what you generally have is mass non-compliance of people hiding in their basement. And if you just want to hide away and bury your guns and hope that no one's going to come a knocking and hope that your door, you're going to talk big and bad. And quite frankly, the people that talk the loudest on the internet are the first ones in the buyback line handing everything back, in my experience of watching the community, okay? So if the ultimate end goal is we're going to want mass non-compliance, there's only one way that works effectively to actually make change. And that is to see so many people doing it openly that there is just no humanly possible way to arrest that many people at one time, that the only other solution is to make a change to what the government is doing. And if that doesn't happen, and let me tell you, the amount of balls that takes to do, okay, if that doesn't happen, then mass non-compliance means shit. It doesn't mean anything. It means that you're going to die long from now, and your family is going to have to deal with whatever you left behind buried in your backyard. That's what mass non-compliance actually means most of the time to our completely demoralized world that we live in today. You know, no one has the ability to actually be strong anymore in today's world because we are far too fat and lazy to do a damn thing about it. So at the end of the day, mass non-compliance, remember this, only works in one way. And most of the time, that's not how it happens. And quite frankly, probably about 80% of the people out there are going to have absolutely no idea that this even happened. I would almost guarantee that 80% of the folks out there that own braced firearms are not in the know of the community. The ATF's not reaching out to them individually. They are going to have no clue, and their mass non-compliance is just going to be blissfully, ignorantly walking into the fact that they are now a felon. So that is what is the reality of this current situation that nobody still seems to understand. Now, I'm sure a lot of folks are going to say, the YouTubers told me that Bruin, this can't happen because of Bruin. I get it. I understand. But the reality of it is, as close as we get in court cases out here, we consistently take 20 steps in the wrong direction. So could this get turned around like bump stocks is looking to be? Possibly, but it really does seem like any small crumb that we get back is like a distraction. I swear to God, half of the big YouTubers out there, especially the legal ones, are in some like massive conspiracy psyop to just get this community thinking with our heads completely up our asses on what is actually going on. So it's like they're all, I swear to God, now I run a conspiracy theorist podcast, remember that, but I swear to God, they're all on the same thing, and there's something out there telling them all what to say to just completely confuse the ignorant masses of the gun community. So anytime we like get a little win, they just nail us in the back with something that is far worse than that little win. So in my opinion, it's not a win. It's almost like a distraction to be like, ooh, we won something. Let's continue to do this. Let's continue to pay the NRA money for their cruises. So, you know, you have two totally different things going on here, and it's something to remember. So I've said it before. I've said it a million times. If you want actual mask non-compliance to work, there needs to be communication, which this community does not have. So figure out a way to have communication and get everybody on the same page. And if you find a way to do that, I promise you the government as a whole will be very much afraid of that situation, because they now see, instead of a group of people running around like maniacs arguing and infighting on which shitty agency and organization to donate their hard-earned money to, they're seeing a unified group of people that's looking to actually get their rights back. So figure out a way to communicate. I don't know what that way is, but I'm sick of people, especially on YouTube, trying to act like the way to get around this is to donate more of your money by the organization that they are sponsored by. So, not going to do it on this channel. Pixel Face, thank you, man. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. You don't have to thank me for my time. Maybe now bullpups will gain more traction. I should pull that trigger on the AUG I want. I mean, possibly. You know, they might. Let's see here. Finishing up on everyone's questions. I'm probably running out of battery. If I do, I'm sorry if you're watching this afterwards. So yeah, this, you know, it sucks. I'm not gonna change what I say here on this channel. I've kept a pretty steady belief system all the way through. You're not going to get the shill mindset on this channel. And quite frankly, I think that mindset is what's destroying this community. It's one thing if you're going to shill a product, but shilling a political strategy is wrong. So, in my opinion, if it's your true belief system, that's one thing. But shilling it because you're paid to do so is bullshit. Because you have these everyday people that are not like engulfed in this industry, that don't know the little niches, the cliches that are going on, and they watch your video because YouTube puts it as trending, and they'll give my channel and many other good channels strikes and get them off the platform if they're not following along exactly what they want to be done. You will promote those videos, again, conspiracy there, and the average person will watch it and just get this big sigh of relief like something's going on. So, you know, it's ridiculous. Copper Jacket TV, good to see you in here, buddy. Man, it's a bigger channel. I really appreciate seeing you in the live stream. Hey man, love the channel. Sorry for the strike. I had to delete 1,200 of my videos in 2020. Yeah, right there with you. Do not comply. Reason why weed is legal now in Connecticut. Well, yes, you know, but again, mass non-compliance. The one way that it works is to do it publicly, and that's something that not a lot of folks have the balls to do. Understandably. We have families, we have things going on, and it's not about internet talk when push comes to shove. You are risking a lot to do something like that. You are risking everything in your life to do something like that, so it is a big deal. Sorry if this has already been answered. Even just a bare buffer tube is a no-no. No, apparently right now a bare pistol buffer tube may be okay. But for now, you know, this is a lot's going to change in the future. So we will see. You know, this video was not in any way, shape, or form supposed to be clickbait to get you guys in here about pistol braces. If you're watching this after the fact, this is my cold, hard truth, as it always is. And on top of that, already making a live stream about whatchamacallit, the YouTube stuff. Pistol braces just happened today, so it's extra. Hey, Chris, thank you so much, man. And again, to everyone watching now, I'm going to wrap this live stream up as we get approaching the hour mark. There will be a link probably about 5 minutes after this live stream ends with links to the B channel. Okay, the B channel for Firearm Freedom, FF Lifestyle, not gun content, vlogs, skating content, snowboarding, all that stuff is over there. B channel. Rumble, it will be down there. So I have a Rumble account now, no videos yet. In about a week, there's going to be like 30 videos. It is going to mirror my YouTube channel. If this channel goes dead, go over there. That all the videos are going to be there immediately, so no changes. So Rumble link down in the comment section. Finally, when it comes to the third link, it is our Discord server. For those of you guys out there that love Discord, guys, we're trying to build it back up. My Discord kind of died, but it's a really cool place. Anything that's legal goes. it's a blast. It's a lot of fun. We got a little bit of everything, conspiracies, guns, doesn't matter. It's in there. If you get offended easily, don't go there. But I swear to God, it's a fun place. So, you know, I appreciate it. Copper Jacket, I appreciate that, man. I seriously do. I appreciate you tuning in to a smaller channel. It is pretty awesome to see. Everyone jump in the Discord for chatting about everything gun and life related. All right, guys, that about wraps up the live stream. Share it around if you found the video helpful and appreciated it. And again, I cannot thank you, everyone that's watching this, enough for your support. You guys mean the world to me. And if I made $0 from this, I would continue to spend all of the money that I'm spending out of my personal bank account to make this possible, because this has been a family on YouTube that I just don't want to lose, and that will never change. Thank you guys so much for watching. Check out those links, support where you can, and stay tuned for more great videos coming soon.